Where did you get your ambition from, Kevin?
I remember getting off the school bus one summer's day. We got off the school bus and all my friends were taking their blazers off. And I was thinking to myself, should I take my blazer off or not? And I took my school blazer off and immediately they were laughing at me. They were saying, "Butler, that's your dad's shirt." And it was rolled up about 7 times on the cuff. With every step I took on the way home, tears streaming down my face. And I was thinking, why me? And often we go through things like this thinking, why me? But afterwards, when we reflect upon them, we think, you can see it in a different light. And I'm glad now that that was me. I'm glad that happened to me because it shaped me to who I am. It caused me to be ambitious. It could have broken me. And maybe in some cases it does. You want to be effective at what you're doing. You've got to put that behind you. You've got to accept it and get on with it because life's hard. No one said it was easy. Just accept that that's the way it is and get on with it in spite of it, because often successful people succeed in spite of and not because of. When you want to bring about change in your life, you have to make change in your life. Here's the good news. Your life is in your own hands. That's the good news. But the bad news is your life is in your own hands. And if you don't make a move, make that change, nobody's going to do it for you. So often in life, I see people who all they think about is money, and money's everything to them, and they keep it so close to them, and they're holding on to it, scared of taking risks, because the money seems so much to them. And you know, they'll continue living in their little house with their second-hand car. They never seem to get anywhere, but everything's so important to them, but they'll never take any risks. And yet, the people who do take risks, they're the ones who are accused of loving money, but they'll let it go. They'll lose it time and time again. I had a friend, he said to me 5-7 years ago, he said he was sat around a table in London and he sat with 3 people, each one of them had a net worth of at least 10 million. And he said every one of them had lost everything they had at least 3 times. Now that is being a risk taker. And we know that statement from risk taker to money maker because people who take risks often break through. But remember, these people had failed, hit the floor, come back and try it again, come back and try it again. And often people diss other people who failed. It could be one decision that's caused them to fail. It could be the difference. And often the people will fail through an experience, and sometimes they'll just lose the will to get back up again. But they've learned a lot in the process. So don't disregard or disrespect people or put them to one side just because they've failed. Because they've actually been up there, they know how to get there. And often people will say, well, what can he teach me? Well, there's a lot of people who can teach you a lot if you're not so arrogant to listen to them. People spend all week in work thinking about being at home. And then when they're at home, thinking about being at work, and they're never really with it in that time, in that moment in time. Sometimes we live our lives as if we're in prison. We put ourselves in prison when we're doing something we don't even like, week in and week out. Frightened of letting go in order to go and take hold of the amazing opportunities that life's got in store for us. Why I'm like I am? Because my parents were negative. Why should that stop? It's just an excuse. Why let that stop you from achieving what you want to achieve? Let go of all that. Let go of it. And often when people have had a few bad experiences and things have not worked out for them, and they're thinking, oh, I don't want that to happen to me again. They're walking around, and they're literally walking around like this. I don't want to take any more disappointments. I don't want to be embarrassed in front of my wife and my children. I failed before. And let me tell you, most people who are successful, they've failed time and time over, but they keep getting back up. I'm not saying I've done everything, and I'm not saying I know everybody's certain circumstances, because 2 people can go through the same thing, but feel completely different about it and affect them differently. But I really do believe that I can help people. I really do believe I can make a difference in their lives.